MAGA Republicans have made their choice. They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos. They live not in the light of truth, but in the shadow of lies. Too much of what's happening in our country today is not normal. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Before we get into this video, make sure you hit like, share my videos, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Also, make sure that your notifications are on and they're set to all. Now, let's get into this. But first, quick commercial break. Noble Gold's CEO Colin Plume thinks that quantitative tightening is setting up the stage for a gold rally. In his interview with the National Desk, Plume said that the tightening is pushing the dollar up. However, he predicts by next year, the Fed will print money again to restart economic activities. So if you're thinking of gold and silver right now, Noble Gold is giving a free American Eagle coin with every eligible IRA or 401k in September. You can't go wrong with Noble Gold. Call the team right now at 877-646-5347 to find out more, or you can simply visit noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Now, let's get to this video. By now, ladies and gentlemen, you probably have heard Joe Biden come out and give his very unifying speech about MAGA Republicans and the danger that they pose to our country. And so what I decided to do is put together a compilation of some of these dangerous MAGA Republicans that pose the threat. Surely these are all upper class to middle class, white, straight, heterosexual, Christian, Anglo-Saxon men, correct? Or could it be other people besides that? We better take a deep dive.
Joe Biden came to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to give the most vicious, hateful, and divisive speech ever delivered by an American president, vilifying 75 million citizens as threats to democracy and as enemies of the state. You're all enemies of the state. He's an enemy of the state. You want to know the truth? The enemy of the state is him and the group that control him. His speech was hatred and anger. By the way, the next morning he forgot what he said. You saw that. How'd you like the red lighting behind him like the devil?
Now, looking at the clips from these two presidents, it appeared that one president seemed a lot more angry, a lot more aggressive, and appears to be attacking citizens that he's supposed to be looking out for. But it sounds like he is excluding them and pretty much throwing them in the category as an enemy of the state. That man looks unwell. He looks upset. He looks angry. And I'm wondering, why is this man so mad? Yet we have President Trump, where all of those people there are just rejoicing. They look jovial. They're having a good time. And then President Trump brings up a good point, that Biden's speech really seemed divisive. And I thought he was the unifier. Not to mention, that red backdrop does look pretty sinister. So I'm expecting, after a powerful speech like Biden had given, we're going to go ahead and see if his statements and his accusations about MAGA Republicans are true. Starting off with this young black lady right here.
If you'd have told me when I was 15, 25, maybe even 35, if you'd have told me that saying the Pledge of Allegiance and standing for the national anthem was going to be an issue, I would have said never. Because even the Democrats that I grew up with were never hateful of America. They were optimistic, compassionate people who thought they were playing for the right team. They thought they were playing for the team of the humanitarians. They thought they were playing for the team of the do-gooders. They thought they were playing for the team of the Samaritans. Little did they know that it's all a sham, and that all Democrats do in Democrat cities is take bribes from people, take bribes from cartels, take bribes from lobbyists, take bribes from unions, take bribes from everybody, probably take bribes from other countries as well. Everything, all the programs that Democrats promise end up just being offices. You know what I mean? They just end up being offices, and it's just a way to steal money. Hey, give us your money, and we're going to take it and seal up the fucking hole in the ozone layer with your money. Give us your money, and we're going to help the homeless get off the street, except now there's more homeless people than ever. Give us your money, and we're going to make sure little black and brown kids have a wonderful education. And then the schools never get their funding because it's been funneled down by so many administrative offices and administrative red tape. You know, all of a sudden the money's not really going to where it needs to go. Give us your money. We're going to be compassionate towards those with addiction. And then what do? You get methadone clinics in poor neighborhoods, making those poor neighborhoods even worse than they were before. Progressive equals regressive. Exactly. But what I guess the point I was trying to make is, like, even the Democrats I knew growing up, they weren't like this. They still celebrated 4th of July. They were still proud to be American. They still felt lucky and grateful to be in this great country. Most of them had worked hard, but they just felt like, you know, they were willing to pay more to make sure other people were taken care of. But the thing is, show me a democratic city that is the example of the utopia that they keep promising. Because it's not LA, it's not San Francisco, it's not Oakland, it's not Vegas, it's not Columbus, it's not Miami, it's definitely not New York, it's not Philadelphia, it's not Baltimore, it's not Louisville, it's not Houston, not Dallas. Show me the city where there is diversity and wokeness and equality throughout their local government, from police chief to district attorney to judges to the mayor to everybody else in between. Show me the woke, democratic, progressive city where there is no influx of homelessness, where nobody is sleeping on the street, where you're not seeing people overdosing on sidewalks, where you're not smelling piss in the downtown of your city, where it's not a sanctuary city and American citizens are getting jobs and working jobs and not in competition with illegals for blue collar jobs. Show me that democratic city where the education is competitive and kids from those cities are winning science fairs and they're winning championships, athletic championships, and where they're getting a lot of scholarships and everyone's going to college. Please show me that city, because it wasn't any of the cities that I just named. And those are cities that I've personally been in. It's not DC, it's not Austin, Texas, it's not Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm waiting. Can anybody name one city where the Democrat leadership is spending their high tax dollars appropriately and actually bettering their people?
Well, now, does she sound like a threat to democracy or our republic, or a threat to the Democrat Party, their narrative, and all of the things that they claim they're doing for the people? I think it's the latter. But yet, let's continue. Let's hear from some more of these, dangerous MAGA Republicans that is threatening our democracy, because obviously that black young lady was a danger, and she probably was a black-white nationalist. So let's hear some more people like this young lady right here, who is of some ethnicity. I'm sure she's a danger to our democracy as well.
I can't take credit for this, but someone on Telegram shared this rant, and it's brilliant. Imagine if President Trump would have sent the FBI to raid Barack Obama's personal residence. Just picture that for a moment. They would have called him a dictator. Oh, wait, they called him that anyway. Could someone remind me of literally anything Trump did to be considered a dictator? Was it lowering taxes, cutting regulations, ending wars, bringing troops home, lowering funding to NATO, the UN, the WHO, opportunity zone programs for impoverished neighborhoods, giving low-level nonviolent inmates a second chance, fixing mandatory minimums, launching a worldwide effort to stop persecution of gays, deporting MS-13, protecting our borders, crusading against human and child trafficking, bringing back manufacturing facilities, evening out our suspiciously lopsided trade tariffs, getting our soldiers' remains back from North Korea, getting terminal patients the right to try, record highs in our stock market, getting big pharma to match low prices abroad, reaching energy independence, brokering peace deals all over the Middle East, record low unemployment, keeping gas and inflation majorly down, donating his salary to different organizations like the ones fighting opioid addiction every quarter, and doing this for free, telling the American public, how much he loved them over and over. I want to know. I want you to show your anti-Trump friends this and ask them what on earth Trump did to be considered a dictator. It's criminal how underreported his deeds were. But what's even more criminal is how underreported this administration's tyranny has been. And now you can add the rating of President Trump's personal home to this long list. This is not okay.
That was well said. Now, does it look like that lady is a threat to democracy? Do you think she's an enemy of the state? Or could she be a threat to all of the citizens that have been brainwashed and they're not able to think freely? They're not able to deduce what's really going on. They're not able to recognize all of the positive things that President Trump did because they can't see through all of the bombardment, gaslighting, and propaganda sent by, of course, the media, the Democrats, the censorship of big tech, all those things. And that lady right there happened to just rip off all of those things. Now, do you think that they want that getting out there? Or do you think it's better for them to just simply call all of these people right here that I'm showing you an enemy of the state? Therefore, they must be silenced and they are dangerous to our democracy. But wait a minute, there's more. Here's one from a person that came from another country, well, from South America. You know, of course, the Democrats just love immigrants, but only illegal ones. So this one is a man who is not an illegal immigrant. He's a legal immigrant, and he has something to say about what's going on with his business and why he supports Trump. Let's check this out.
At the end of the day, you can never understand what it's like to be an owner-operator right now in the climate of the Joe Biden presidency. As a truck driver, I completely understand why he has Trump 2024 on it. Because at the end of the day, truck drivers were making a lot more money. We had a lot more work. Business was just better during the Trump presidency. So I seen this video, man, I had to say something. So let me be real clear. I'm first generation Mexican American, meaning both my parents came from Mexico. I'm the first person in my family to be born in the United States. I'm 24 years old, and yes, as you can see, I'm a truck driver. But not only am I a truck driver, I'm an owner-operator, meaning that I own my equipment and I work for myself. This is my own business. With that being said, I could put whatever I want on my trailer. As long as it's something that's not showing profanity or nudity, I could put whatever I want on my trailer, and that is my right as an American. That is my First Amendment right. I don't agree with everything that's on that man's trailer. However, I can respect it because that's how he feels, and those are his views. At the end of the day, you can never understand what it's like to be an owner-operator right now in the climate of the Joe Biden presidency. As a truck driver, I completely understand why he has Trump 2024 on it. Because at the end of the day, truck drivers were making a lot more money. We had a lot more work. Business was just better during the Trump presidency. One thing about being a business owner is that a lot of these policies that these presidents implement actually affect you directly. For example, Biden just hired 80,000 plus IRS agents. For what? To audit small businesses like mine and others alike. Yet he told you he was only going to do it to the rich and people that make more than $400,000 a year. I have one truck. I do not make $400,000 a year. However, I can promise you that I will be audited within the next 2 years.
Guaranteed, I promise. I've never broken my word. Anyone making less than $400,000 will not see one single penny in their tax raise.
President Biden breaking his promise not to raise taxes on the middle class.
The Senate Democrats look to fast-track a bill that multiple now nonpartisan experts say would raise taxes on nearly all Americans.
Give you my word as a Biden, no one making less than $400,000 a year will see a penny in their taxes raised.
The average tax rate for nearly every income bracket would increase.
I will not impose any tax increase on people making less than $400,000.
Taxes will rise by $16.7 billion in 2023 on Americans earning less than $200,000 a year.
No one earning less than $400,000 a year will pay a single penny more in federal tax.
Joe Biden has drawn the line at $400,000 a year. The committee does say it would raise taxes on people below that line.
Annually, it is horrifying to imagine what kind of monster Democrats are creating in their endless pursuit of perpetual power. Americans, of course, hate the IRS mostly. Free people tend to have a problem with an atrociously wasteful government using your money to enforce your financial support of this massively bloated bureaucracy that we have created. With $80 billion, audit mania is coming. Even Bloomberg admitting it in a recent headline. More audits by 2026, 2027 as they get all this stuff geared up and start spending all that money. Over at the White House, Biden's mouthpiece claiming only those evil rich people are the ones who are going to feel the audit pain.
The IRS commissioner was very clear on this. He said that on the record that this will only apply to those earning over $400,000. This is focus on those who are corporate wealthy tax cheats that congressional Republicans wanted to defend.
Reality check, you don't need to double the size of the IRS to go after the wealthiest people in this country. There's just not that many of them. It's not that hard to do. The IRS expansion is about your money. Idaho Senator Mike Crapo proved it when he forced Democrats to show their hand, demanding a vote on an amendment that would lawfully ensure that people making under $400,000, which is where all the meat of the tax base in this country is, would not be audited.
Everyone knows that the targeted money in the bill cannot be achieved unless the middle class, people with incomes under $400,000, are hit with a wave of new audits.
That's exactly right. Democrats denied that measure from Crapo. They didn't lose a single vote when they denied him.
One thing that I've learned as becoming a business owner is to vote off of policy, not emotion. I do not care what side I feel like is representing me or my culture. What side is going to help me grow my business and have a better business-friendly environment to grow and prosper for my family. You can say whatever you want about Trump. At the end of the day, everyone was making more money with him. And if you have a problem with some of his views, get out your feelings.
After watching that young man, do you think that young man is a threat to our democracy? Do you think he's a threat to the republic? Or that do you think he's a threat to the narrative that all Latinos support the Democrat Party? All of them are relying on handouts from the government. They love big government. All of them are codependent on the government. There's a lot of narratives that man right there destroys. One narrative he doesn't fit, though, is a threat to our democracy. If anything, he really is a threat to the narrative of capitalism being bad, the narrative of being independent, working hard, making sure that you are the decider of your destiny, your fate, and all of that. And it has nothing to do with racism and white nationalism and stuff like that. That man is an example to a lot of young people, whether you black, white, or otherwise, that you don't have to rely on the Democrat Party, their promises, and their demagoguery towards all of those that says, you know what, I don't want big government in my life. I don't want y'all snooping around in my finances. I don't want y'all overstepping your boundaries. I want to be an independent business owner that doesn't have to worry about getting my business shut down because of some lockdowns y'all just came up with. I don't want to be that person. I want to be an independent business owner, free in the country, to put whatever I want on my truck, say what I want to say, think how I want to think, without being called these names that we heard Joe Biden call all of us MAGA Republicans. Yeah, that's right. We're extremists. We have hate in our heart and all of that stuff. Does it appear that man had hate in his heart? But wait, there's more. Here's another minority, a black man. Let's see how he feels about Joe Biden's speech concerning MAGA Republicans.
President Biden stole the soul of America with that speech.
Short and sweet and to the point. He says he thinks that President Biden stole the soul of America with that speech. And I must concur. Now, does it look like that guy, just because he's a black man with a big old cowboy hat, look like maybe perhaps a systemically white nationalist person? No. In fact, this man made a good point. If Biden is supposed to be out there talking about unity and talking about bringing us together and all of that stuff, and those MAGA folks got hate in their heart and they're promoting racism and they're promoting violence, does it look like that guy fits that? Does it look like any of the people that I've showed you in this montage fit that? Does it look like I fit that? Do you see these people actually out there saying the stuff that Biden claims that they're saying and doing the things that he claimed that they're doing? I mean, could it be perhaps that this is another effort to smear Republicans without taking in consideration that Republican Party is not filled with just white men? Yeah. And we're seeing now that they come in all shapes, sizes, religions, sexes, and all of that stuff. And yet, Biden wants everybody to think that they're all hateful, they're all violent, they're all a threat to democracy and enemies of the state. Perhaps could he have been making that up? Who's the real enemy of the state? Who's the real divider in chief? But wait, there's one more. We better go ahead and listen to this man right here that came from Africa. Now, surely all the Democrats are going to be supporting people that come from other countries, especially Africa, because he's black. And the Democrat Party just love black people. They love immigrants. Oh, I'm sorry. They love illegal immigrants. Okay. But let's see what this man has to say about Biden's wonderful unifying speech.
Hi, everyone. This message is for the President of the United States. So if you know someone close to him, please tag them so they can bring this to his attention. My name is Alma Ohiniopare. I'm a person of faith, a husband of 16 years, and a father of 4 wonderful children. I am also an immigrant to the United States of America. I came here at the age of 19, full of hope, optimism, and a willingness to do what was necessary to achieve the American dream. After 18 years of waiting and hoping, I was finally granted the privilege of becoming an American citizen in 2021. Today, I am a proud American, a law-abiding patriot, and a man willing to defend the principles and values that made America great and brought people like me here. Mr. President, I am also a conservative Republican, or what you have recently labeled a MAGA Republican. Over the last few days, you have looked into the camera and called me and millions of other people like me extremists. You have told me and my children that we don't matter to you because of our beliefs. Your spokespeople and the media have labeled us dangerous, full of hate, and a threat to democracy. You went as far as to suggest that we would not stand a chance against the government's F-15s in defending our country from tyranny.
And for those brave right-wing Americans who say it's all about keeping America's independent and safe, if you want to fight against the country, you need an F-15. You need something a little more than a gun.
Your party leaders have taken your cue and called us terrorists, and all this without taking any time to acknowledge our humanity, listen to our concerns, or seek to understand our fears. I was born in a country where my rights were not always guaranteed, and to hear the President of America and the leader of the free world dismiss more than 70 million of his own countrymen as fringe and extreme and not worth listening to breaks my heart and makes me wonder what I should tell my children about the future of this once great shining city on a hill. This is the reason many of us embrace the call to make America great again. It is because we believe our great nation is under a moral, fiscal, and spiritual assault. We are MAGA because we want to restore the promise in the hearts of our children that this is the place where their efforts will be rewarded and where their true potential can be realized. We are MAGA because we believe in freedom of speech, the freedom to exercise our religion. We believe in limited government and the rule of law. We are MAGA because we love the Constitution and believe our founders established a means for we the people to defend it from enemies both foreign and domestic. I am MAGA because I want to be able to look into the eyes of my 4 black children to assure them that they're not victims, that they hold inside them what it takes to achieve anything they set their hearts on. We believe our leaders should put America and its interests first before any other nation. We believe our government should not saddle our children and grandchildren with insurmountable debt, chasing after a misguided idea of controlling or changing the course of the climate. Millions of us were horrified to witness what happened on January 6th and believe that justice must be served. But we also see through the attempt to paint all Republicans with a false moniker of insurrectionists and to conflate the genuine misgivings of those who feel disaffected and disenfranchised with an unfounded accusation that we are somehow against democracy. We are MAGA because we love law enforcement, but doubt whether the Justice Department or the FBI can be trusted to deal fairly and impartially when they have given us clear and repeated evidence of their political bias against half of the country. As a new American, this November will be the first time I get to exercise my right to vote, a right I've waited nearly 2 decades to earn. I understand the urge during an election season to attack those you see as political opponents. But Mr. President, I am not your enemy, and the tens of millions of MAGA Republicans are not filled with hate towards anyone. We love this country. We are heirs of the great legacy of freedom this country has afforded us and wish to exercise our right to be heard and not demonized. So I ask you, Mr. President, to tear down this wall of divisiveness and division that seeks to pit your fellow citizens against one another. Heed your own call for unity and lay off the rhetoric that seeks to demonize and defame millions of people who would give their lives and fortunes to defend these United States. If you believe in the redemption of America, then give my children a reason to hope, a reason to believe that our best days are ahead of us, in spite of the challenges we face as a country. Thank you for listening.
I don't know if I can add to that right there. That man summed it up beautifully. Make this video go viral. Spread this video. Share this video. I want every single person to see what MAGA folks are really like. See, because at this point, a lot of them have this stereotype that they're all these hillbilly type people just running around having these secret meetings about racism, insurrection, and all those things. And they're not. As you can see through my video, MAGA folks are hard-working Americans that love the country, that are patriotic, that want to see us prosper, that want to remain a sovereign country, that want to keep their right to be able to say what they want, think how they want to think, work where they want to work, own a business, not have the IRS all in their business, not have the Democrats calling them white nationalists, racist, xenophobic, homophobic, not getting involved with how their kids are brought up. All of the things that Americans want, simplistic things, normal things that right now it appears that the Democrat Party are calling those normal things extreme. These don't look like extremists to me. These look like rational, free already thinking Americans that happen to just disagree with the Democrat Party, their policies, their agenda, and their choices, thus somehow landing us all into the category of aggressive, just dangerous people to our democracy. Well, I got a feeling we're not dangerous to our democracy. We're simply dangerous to the Democrat Party, their agenda, their goals and objectives. Therefore, the only way they can describe us is those MAGA folks are a danger to our democracy. They're radical and extremists. So if you believe in any of the things you heard these people say, if you can agree with any of these normal looking Americans, then you too would probably fall into that category as an extremist. Now, common sense things that used to be viewed as, yeah, obvious, we all want these things, are now somehow being viewed as what? Extreme views. Who decides that though? Could it be that the people that are the real extremists are demonizing those that have reasonable expectations and desires as a free American citizen, and all of a sudden, these people in power are changing the definition of what something extreme is, and just simply saying that simple things that these people said or believe or want are now extreme. They don't give you definitions of what extreme is. They don't give you definitions of what a white nationalist is. They don't give you a definition of what an enemy of the state is. They don't give you a definition of what a domestic terrorist is. They just simply allow people like Biden to come out and give these speeches, hurl all of these accusations, demonize all of these folks, and just drop the mic and walk off and say, now think about it. Well, I hope you do. I hope you think about it and ask yourself, how realistic is it that almost half of our country fits the description of what this man just came out on stage and said that they are? So if being a MAGA Republican, which simply means make America great again, in spite of what they're trying to tell people it means, if you can't understand making America great again, if you don't want America to be great, if you want to see us fail, if you want to see us not prosper, if you want to see us destroy our future, if you want to see us continue going down this path of division and strife and contention, if you want to see that, then go right ahead and continue to believe that MAGA Republicans are the danger to our democracy. But if you got some common sense, dang on to share this video. Now, God bless y'all. God bless America. And we'll see y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care. God bless y'all. God bless America. Don't forget to hit that like button. Share my videos. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those good things. And please check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. If you like their products, please click on the link below this video. Put Kevin in a promo code. You'll get a 20% discount. If you'd like to donate to Kevin's Corner, feel free. The links are below this video. If you want to be a part of my $2 a month club, also feel free to do that. All it entails is you simply dropping $2 a month into one of those links below the video. Or if you want, you can drop a nice big fat lump sum in there to offset the stuff that we know goes on with big tech. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Make sure that you are still subscribed. And finally, set your notification button to all, because YouTube is playing games, y'all. Now, God bless you. God bless America. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner.